Please, no, he begged, turning the key again, trying to control the fear and panic welling up inside him. As the engine roared to life, he floored the accelerator and the truck bunny-hopped forward. Finally, with the brakes locked on and the tyres burning, he managed to move the large machine, leaving deep skid marks in the gravel behind him. Flames were spreading quickly, licking at the back of the cab. The heat was so intense, he knew he wouldn't be able to unhook it. He just hoped he'd be able to save most of the sheep he was carting. With smoke growing thicker with each passing moment, he took a deep breath, plunged into the haze, and felt for the back of the trailer. Unpinning the door and lowering the ramp, he raced into the crate, trying to turn the heads of the startled ewes and push them out of harm's way. They were scared and uncooperative, but just when he thought he wouldn't be able to get any out, they took fright and started to bolt from the truck into the darkness, with Matt following behind the stragglers. He ran down the ramp and once again assessed the situation, his stomach constricting as he glanced towards the cab and saw the fire creeping towards the fuel tanks. The oil from the diff would be fueling it now. He thought briefly of the fire extinguisher, but there was no time. A set of lights appeared down the road, and within seconds a rusty ute pulled up. An old man got out, grabbed a shovel from the tray, and started throwing sand onto the flames. But it was too late. The flames had reached the diesel tanks. Burning plastic, rubber, and diesel hurled deep black smoke into the night sky with a loud whoomph. Both men threw their hands up to protect their faces and backed away from the fire. "All right, mate?" the older man asked after the explosion. Matt could only nod, unable to speak around the lump in his throat. Then bile surged up into his mouth, and he fell to his knees, vomiting and shaking. The man pulled him up gently and led him to the ute. "Sit here," he instructed, and Matt, dazed, did as he was told. Shortly after, he felt a blanket being draped over his shoulders. "Not much we can do until daybreak," the man said. "I'll call for some help," and took a mobile from his pocket. A while later, with the calls made, the man reappeared and handed Matt a cup of sweet tea he'd poured from a flask. He urged him to drink. Matt's hands trembled so violently the tea slopped over the rim. The scald hardly registered, but he let the man take the cup from him and hold it to his mouth. "How am I going to tell her?" he kept saying over and over. All he could think of was his future and that of his family, lying in the charred ashes on the road. It took a little while before he realized that the guttural moans he could hear came from himself. When the phone call came at 3:21 in the morning, it didn't wake her. Anna was already awake, having just been up to the toddler. Alarmed at first, she had snatched up the receiver only to relax when she realized it was her husband. Frowning at his garbled words, she said, "Slow down, hun, I can't understand what you're saying. What's wrong?" "Accident," Matt gasped. "I've had an accident. Truck fire. It's all gone." Shocked, Anna was still for a moment, before a hidden force made her shoot from the chair and pace around the living room, wildly combing her hands through her hair. "Are you okay?" she managed. "What about the sheep? The truck?" Questions tumbled from her mouth before she could stop them. "It's all gone," Matt whispered. "All gone." "Where are you?" she asked. "McKenna's Creek, north of Orroroo." "I'll be there as quickly as I can." She went to hang up the phone, then added, "Matt, I love you. It'll be okay. Everything'll be fine, honey." But she said it to dead air. Quietly, so as not to wake Ella, she went into the kitchen to make a thermos of coffee and some sandwiches. She grabbed the last bar of chocolate, packed it all into a tin tucker box, carried it out to her beat-up dual cab, and threw it into the tray. Making sure the ute was out of gear, she started the engine and flicked on the air conditioner. Anna jogged back to the house for Ella. As she walked through the kitchen,